Well, I feel very happy for living in this neighborhood. I really think the whole city should be like this.
It's a slower rhythm of life. You rediscover your area and your neighbors.
They're finally able to reconquer the spaces of the city and truly make the space much more democratic.
We have detected a number of problems that we had in Barcelona, and we have too much traffic, we have a lack of green spaces. With the Superblocks project, we are trying to reclaim back some space that we now using by cars and to put it back to all those streets that are more linked to what pedestrians and people and human scale city needs.
It was September of 2016. The City Council starts the Superblock with public audiences in the street, but when a part of the neighborhood said that this was not a good idea, that's how it was born our association called Col·lectiu Superilla Poble Nou, to defend the space and to give ideas to have a more public and good space.
It is composed by 9 blocks. It was a proposal that we started with a tactical urbanism. We changed it completely, the layout in which this space was used.
Superblocks are a very clear example of tactical urbanism. You know, they're using short-term and temporary design elements that can be removed, that can be tweaked, but are really testing out this concept of the superblock.
Cars are still here and they are welcome, but they must know that this is another part of the city, that each person has the same right to be there. They must respect us.
Everybody, not only the neighbors, can drive in this place, but it's not easy to cross in a direct lane. So in theory, people that are not doing anything inside this area, they are not driving here.
What happened in Barcelona is that they chose this place, that it was social housing, all the area in which the first superblock is, and that of course creates this safe environment that prevents gentrification.
When you make some interventions like this one of improving the public space, one of the bad things of the complaints is that the prices of the housing are going higher. But well, in this case, because we are living in social housing, it's not possible. So it's very important for municipalities that when they make these interventions in the public space, they make sure that the people can continue living there.
This kind of space is really inspiring because we are changing the public space for other users. We are not only planning for mobility, we are planning for using the space, meeting people, staying, having sun or playing.
First thing that needs to happen is changes in mobility. So this means that we need to change the directions and the through traffic, and you need to take out some of the parking space available. And because you don't have that many traffic and that many cars park in the street, you can start like thinking to have the space used to other uses.
The intersections were 90% reclaimed with playgrounds, street furniture, benches and trees and places to hang out. And that's the kind of thing you just don't think about when you are walking around a neighborhood, is that in the middle of these streets you could be doing the same things you're doing in park space.
All of these discussions on, okay, different times of the day, different activities, different people talking about it, needed to be done really fast because people perceived really fast that was for them and they could use it and they were looking forward and it had to be adapted to their needs.
And we've got playgrounds, we've got tables and places to sit, and people are just using this public space both in the weekend and also in the weekdays. I mean, also for office people working at offices.
You might have seen people taking care of elderly people or people who have disabilities who, they suddenly find a completely accessible area that they can move around. So that's really good for them the whole day long.
This used to be a street with a really wide space for cars, with really narrow sidewalks, and now we have this pacified space where still cars can go in, but really low speed, and we have some gardens and places for the kids to play and to use the public space.
You can see these pictures. They are made by students of the school that we have here in the Superblock, and they were working about what they expect about the public space in our neighborhood. And they say things like, without parks, there are no funny. Less empty spaces and more parks.
Right now there are many things going on. One of them is a new park in a square called Dolors Piera, and then this new park is going to be open the next weeks with a new fountain and gardening for neighbors.
These three pieces of art are called the guardians of the Superblock, and they are made by an important artist in Catalonia, Xavier Mascaró. And these pieces are here because we have a museum of contemporary art in the Superblock, and they thought that it was a good idea to put art in the street. And this part of the street, there are no cars.
Now in the Superblock, the noises are mostly birds and kids playing. I live in an 11th floor. I can sleep very quietly, and during the day I just can hear kids, so that's amazing.
So we have another project that we have just opened, the Superblock around the San Antonio Market. That it's a very dense area in which you have a lot of people living there, a lot of people working, but also one of the main markets of Barcelona. Because it was refurbished, we take the opportunity to ask the residents around the market if they wanted the space around the market to be a Superblock and do not have through traffic around that area. Introducing a lot of more green areas and a lot of and sitting for resting, and a little bit of like breath space for the market.
In the past we even didn't know with the neighbors each other, because we just didn't meet at the street, because we were not spending time at the street, we were just passing by. But since 1.5 years ago, it's very difficult to get out from the Superblock because you meet everyone.
You can say good morning, good afternoon, oh, your kids are growing up.
We need to have more spaces like this, because if we want people actually living in Barcelona, we have to give them a space that it's not harmful for them, not only with regards to emissions and all the particles that are coming from traffic, but also with regards to noise.
To be in a place that is normally filled with cars and not to have that background noise was pretty wonderful, and it actually reminded me a lot of Amsterdam, where it's so quiet that you hear voices a block away, you can hear people dining outside, and you just don't hear that. You don't have that strong sense of sound in many cities because all you hear is that loud din.
I think all the cities in the world should just test this kind of Superblock system. For instance, New York, for instance, London, because it's working.